linebacker has this all teed up. And we're off from Baltimore. Here's Traymon Smith with the return. Good looking return here, and he's got room. Some good work on that return. Brock gets this up to the 33. So the Broncos offense getting set for their first drive. They'll be led out by the former first-rounder out of both Oregon and Auburn. It's Bo Nix.
Bo Nix entered this league as a grown-up. 61 college starts will do that for you. A ton of college experience. And Bo Nix is a facilitator. When he is at his best, that ball is in and out of his hands in an absolute hurry. If he were a point guard on a basketball team, he'd want to go up and down the court and get it out of his hands as quickly as he can. He's accurate, he's tough, he's experienced, and he's poised for this challenge of the NFL.
Cut by Sutton. And he breaks into enemy territory before being stopped on a huge gain.
Now, right there, that's what you want to see on your opening drive. Boom! Connect on a big shot, and instantly you set a tone that you're not going to be afraid to be aggressive in this game today. Boy, do I love that.
This drive has been excellent. A few shots now. It's starting with 6 as they come up on it. First and goal. They'll put one of the tight ends in motion. First and goal. Here's Williams. And that carry only nets one on the plunge up the gut.
Okay, all right. There's a little progress on first and goal. You keep it safe, you push a little closer, and now you're set up for what you want to do on second down.
Still chances to get these final 4 yards. It's second and goal. It's a design boot. Oh, we put way too much on that one, Brock. Over the end zone and out.
QBs, well, they're a lot like the great shooters in the NBA. Hey, listen, sometimes you're going to miss. You just got to shake it off and keep shooting away.
They've held him out twice. Here we go. Third and goal. Shotgun snap to Nix. Forced out to his right. Trying to get away from the pressure, but he can't, and they drop him. And that sack going to cost them some yardage.
All right, first sack on the board on the first drive as a defense, and now we let the chess match begin, the adjustments begin, because we know pressure leads to sacks, and sacks in this league often leads to wins.
Will Lutz getting the call on fourth down to put 3 up here for the Broncos. This only a chip shot from the right hash. Bertolet able to knock it through. And the opening drive of the game ends in 3 points.
I never saw a play script that ended with a field goal. It was always a touchdown that you wanted. But that's 3 points, and it's enough to give them the lead.
Here's Lutz set to kick this away. Deontay Hardy to return. Return's looking good so far. Tackle made as the return gets it out to the 32. So here now are the Ravens on offense to begin their first drive. And they're brought out by someone who is the modern example of an elite running quarterback, the multiple-time MVP, Lamar Jackson.
A decade plus before Lamar, it was a guy named Michael Vick who was the standard for dual-threat quarterbacks. Well, today, that standard's Lamar Jackson, who at his best is an MVP-caliber player and the most exciting player, not just at his position, but in all of football. And don't let that running overshadow the strides he's made as a passer, too, in the pocket and as a franchise quarterback to build upon.
Lamar off to play fake. He puts some juice on a deep throw down the middle. That one firmly denied by the man in coverage. And it sets up second down.
How many times do defenders hear from their coaches, read and react, read and react? You got to read where the quarterback's eyes are going, and then more importantly, you got to react as he begins to throw and knock that ball away.
Lamar now from the gun. Andrews with the catch. And he's brought down after a short gain.
Quarterbacks will look for their tight end short in just about any situation. They take away the deeper options. Well, there's their consistent source of positive yardage, the trusty tight end.
Let's see what they draw up on a 3rd and 7. Out of the gun, here's Jackson. That's caught for the first. And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs. It's a gain of 27 yards to move the chains.
You know what I like about that, Kate? I like that they're not coming out slow. They're willing to go with some looks here that will yield big yardage down the field instead of just settling for dinking and dunking the ball.
New set of downs for him at the 38. First down, here's Lamar. Flushed out of the pocket. Oh, the football's loose. And the Broncos corral it. And they stop him before he gets much on the return.
You know, this just can't happen on first down. It really can't. I mean, ball security's at a premium on every down, every distance. But on first down, it is especially a killer.
So the Broncos headed out for their second drive of the game. And their last drive did end in points. Not as many as they wanted, though. They had to settle for that field goal despite advancing the football pretty well. Good starting field position for the Broncos as they get ready for 1st and 10. Here's Williams to start the drive. And they needed more than one defender. Their powerful runner stopped with just 1 yard.
Hey, we know running the ball in the NFL is hard, and that play pretty indicative of it. Here's the key, though. At the end of the game, those type of plays got to be in the minority, and the majority have got to do some damage.
They'll come to the line here, 2nd and 9. Another run for Williams. And the defense is all over this one for a big loss.
I talked to a bunch of different GMs, Kate, especially around draft time, and they all say the same thing. Linebackers are so hard to find. It's hard to transition from the college game that's in so much space to this game where you've got to play in a phone booth, yet have that explosiveness to chase a play on the outside down like that linebacker just did.
Finds him over the middle. Decent gain here, but short of the first.
You can earn your money in the NFL in all sorts of different ways, but defensively, in a league where you're just not hitting as much at training camp, you're not tackling as much as they got to in the old days, when you can make a play in the open field, keep it short like that, I promise you some money will follow.
Punt team is on now, and they get this away. And the sunlight's not a problem for him. He looks up and makes the fair catch. We don't get a return out of that punt. And the Ravens will take over with a lot of field ahead of them. Drive starts out with a 1st and 10. Shotgun snap to Jackson. Complete Derrick Henry. And he'll take it up to the 30 before being brought down. They get 13 on the pickup. And that's good for a Ravens 1st down.
I love throwing on 1st down. And when you see a 1st down pass just like that, it's taking advantage of a matchup you plan for, and you go out and execute.
On 1st down, Jackson finds Aguilar. And they catch up to him, but not until he's got a huge gain and a 1st down. They pick up 20 yards there. And that'll be 1st down, Baltimore.
From a great throw to a nice route and catch to moving the chains, there wasn't a whole lot not to like about that amazing play.
He brings the offense up now for a 1st and 10. From the gun, Jackson. Aguilar with the grab. And he has it to the 42 before they make the stop.
That is the epitome of staying on schedule. That kind of completion right there on 1st down. Well, it opens up the entirety of the playbook for 2nd down. With 3rd and short in your back pocket, you can get even more aggressive and take that shot.
After a good pickup, they're set up with 2nd and short. Jackson's gonna throw again. He'll get this to Henry.
That's a defense's goal, right, Kate? Just get us to 3rd down so we can have a chance to get off the field. And that was a good adjustment on that stop in particular, when the back ended up being the target, and they were able to keep him short of the sticks.
Battle coming up on 3rd and inches. Jackson yet again. Dumps it off to his running back. And he'll pick up enough to move the chains. So that connection for a 1st will bring us to the end of the 1st. Just a field goal separates these two. Back to the bank in just a moment. Back at beginning the 2nd quarter, Ravens in possession. They're looking at yet another 1st and 10 on this drive. Lamar throwing again. Henry on the catch. And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs. They rip off a big chunk of field, and it sets him up with 1st and goal.
So many cool fundamentals on display right there, Kate. Put the ball in your hands, number 1. Don't turn your eyes away from it before it gets to you. And then when you've got that catch secured, snap that head forward and find that space upfield to turn a good play into a great play.
They'll break the huddle and come up on 1st and goal. And again, it's Jackson. And this one won't be caught, but we got a flag here. Looked like there may have been some early contact before that throw arrived. He got too aggressive to try and stop that play, and they tag him for pass interference. Defense, no doubt, still recovering from that interference call, Brock, but they've got to buckle down here. It's 1st and goal. Henry takes it in for the Baltimore touchdown. The Ravens take a 2nd quarter lead. Derrick Henry, the touchdown. Justin Tucker to try the point after. The point after splits the uprights. And the Ravens take a 4-point lead. Tucker on to handle the kickoff. Marvin Mims now to return it. In pretty solid field position starting out here, Brock. He's tackled at the 29. Denver ready for another offensive possession. They were only on the field for 3 plays their prior series, Brock. Let's see what changes they make to take over here. They're out and set, 1st and 10. Drive begins with a run. It's Williams. And they're able to grind him to a halt after a pickup of 4.
You know, that's a good run right there to keep the offense on schedule. If he can average that type of yards per carry, this guy's going to be more than all right with letting him lead the show.
2nd and 6 coming up here. Out of the gun, it's Nix. Has him on the quick hitter. And they catch up to him, but not until he's got a huge gain and a 1st down. They get 22 on that one. And that'll be good for a Denver 1st.
I think my favorite part was the magic he worked after the catch. The way he took the completion and made so much more out of it by adding all the extra yardage.
New set of downs for him from the 46. Give to Williams from the gun. And he'll get this forward, and he's stopped at the 37. Call it 9 yards. Looked like a first for a moment. It's 2nd and 1.
So much to like about that run, Kate, particularly what he was able to get out of it. The defense, I think, feels a little fortunate they were able to track him down before an even bigger run and crossing that 1st down marker.
From the 37. Hits him on the out route. And he's out of bounds just short of the 30. A 5-yard gain on the play. And the Broncos will have a 1st down.
I'm sure coach and play caller doesn't mind making the job a little bit easier. You know, play calling's a lot simpler and easier when you count on the offense to move the chains on those early downs.
On 1st and 10, here's Nix. That's complete. It's Javonte Williams. And it's a nice little chunk here, 6 yards. Stopped by one of the league's best tacklers, Roquan Smith.
These intermediate gains, that's the wheelhouse for these two to connect on. Start the series off well. He sure keeps the defense on its toes in case they try to load up and just simply cover the receivers.
After a good pickup, they've got 2nd and 4. Nix off the play action. And this time they're going to get there, and they drop him. And that pushes them back. 3rd down coming up.
In theory, Kate, that's exactly what complementary man coverage is supposed to look like. The DBs, well, they're sticky on the back end of it. The front end, that pass rush, it makes an impact that gets home. But of course we know, it's not that simple. It is really tough to lock down a full field for more than a second or two.
This drive in some serious trouble. It's 3rd and 12. Nix from the gun. He's on the move. Oh, they're on him, and he's dropped again. Now this is the dreaded sight anytime there's a sack. He's hurting after taking that hit, and they're going to get out there to check on him. Will Lutz getting the call on 4th down to put 3 up here for the Broncos. It'll be a 54-yarder from the right hash. And he missed it. It's no good. And this will remain a 4-point game.
He was hitting from that distance pregame. Heck, we were on the field watching it, and they were confident he could do so again. Just did not work out this time around.
The Ravens and Derrick Henry making their way back out on offense. And he finds himself across an important benchmark for yards this season after that last drive. He stayed pretty busy this season, and the numbers show just that. The Ravens in a very good field position as they come up 1st and 10. Henry gets it here to start the drive. And they'll bring him down after a pretty short gain. He gets a couple on first, and they'll come up 2nd and 8.
Okay, that's a run that's ho-hum on the stat sheet, but if you see a bigger play on the ground later on, it'll largely be because of a play just like that one, softening up the front and opening the door for a bigger gap in the future.
Motioning one of the tight ends. This is Henry on second. And he drives this across midfield and down into enemy territory. He got 5, and now it's going to be 3rd down and 3. That brings us to the 2-minute warning at the Inner Harbor. It's the Ravens with a 3rd and 3. Putting a receiver in motion. Play action. Here's Jackson. Finds him on the crossing route. And he has it down to the 8-yard line on the play. They rip off a big chunk of field, and it sets him up with 1st and goal.
I love everything about that play, Kate, so much for a quarterback. When you're throwing that crossing route, it's imperative that you lead that receiver. You don't throw where he's at, you throw where he's going. And when you do, yards after catch follow.
This offense in position now. It's 1st and goal. Tight end in motion right. Working inside the red zone. The throw is caught. And in for the Baltimore touchdown. So, Brock, this offense looking sharpier in the first half as they extend their lead.
You know, and when things are going well, sometimes you really just get into a groove. And this is a unit that's putting the pieces together.
Tucker on for the extra point. Extra point sent right down the middle. And the Ravens drive their lead to 11. Tucker on to handle the kickoff. On the return, here's Mims. He's brought down at what looks like the 24-yard line. So here comes the Bronco offense. They're trailing, but there's enough time, Brock, that they could get a scoring drive to attack that here before the break. Offense ready to begin this drive. 1st and 10. First throw for the backup now. And he's just going to get rid of this one. Smart move there when he saw the field. It's going to be 2nd down.
That was a situation where he got the time in the pocket he needed. There just wasn't anyone open to throw it to. It got to the point he had 2 choices as that clock is going off in his head. Force a throw and risk a pick, or just get rid of it and cut your losses on the play.
Throwing again on 2nd down here. Stidham. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop it. Now the Ravens are going to use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 left to work with before halftime. Bring an extra DB out there. 3rd down coming up. straight ahead with Williams. And he's short of the first after a mild gain. Now we're going to have a timeout taken by Baltimore. It's second. And they still have one in their pocket for what's left of this half. Riley Dixon on the punt. And he's only a handful of yards from his own goal line. And some textbook work covering that punt. It is stopped after almost nothing on the return. Officially a 55-yard launch. And the Ravens will go on offense. They'll head up 1st and 10 from the 42. Out of the gun, here's Jackson. That's going to be an incomplete pass on the throw to the right.
Can't cover it much better than that. Really well covered, Kate, on that play. There just simply was not a window for him to sneak that throw in.
So after the incompletion, here comes the second down call. Throwing again is Lamar. Gets this one to Andrews. It's a gain of 17 on that one. And that's good for a Ravens first down.
You want to become a quarterback's best friend, do that. Turn a short little gain, a short little pass into some yards after catch, and that quarterback will find you again.
They'll head up 1st and 10 from the 42. They send one of the tight ends in motion right. First down, here's Lamar. Into the hands of Likely. And they're going to haul him down a step before the 30, right at the 31. Give him 11 yards, Brock, and a fresh set of downs.
You know, Kate, you'll find teams go to this crossing route concept sometimes a dozen times a game. And a lot of times it's for shorter yardage, but sometimes things break in the right coverage for a much bigger impact play, just like that.
That's taken in by 3. He gets it ahead, winds up with about 3. Alex Singleton makes the tackle. Now just before the break, a timeout taken by the offense, and they can try for some points going into the break. Ravens call in on Justin Tucker for the field goal. From the right hash, about 45 yards out. Bullock's kick is good. And that extends their lead to 14. So we've reached halftime here in Baltimore. The Ravens flying into the break with a lead. Now it's down to Florida, where Jonathan Coachman is standing by in Orlando for the EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Kate, thanks very much. Back to you and Brock in a bit. But first, time for our EA Sports Halftime Report. We saw a terrific first half from the dual-threat quarterback, Lamar Jackson. He's got a touchdown pass on the ledger as his guys were able to build a double-digit lead.
All right, thank you, Coach. And we are back and about set to begin the second half. Here's Lutz set to kick this away. Here's a return from the 7. He's stopped on the return at the 27. Here comes the Baltimore offense to begin quarter number 3. And they really leaned on that passing game in the first half, Brock. Let's see if that emphasis continues to start the third. And the drive will start out with a 1st and 10. Jackson to throw it. We've got a screen to the running back. And he's up to the 35-yard line as they reel him in.
That's what you call efficiency. Exactly what you're looking for in first down. Textbook. It sets up second and very manageable, and then creates that space if you want to take a shot downfield.
2nd and 3 now. Motion man sent left. Play fake, Jackson. Dumped off to his running back. And that short gain is enough for a new set of downs.
That's just great instincts. Go air it out on 2nd down rather than just play conservative and run it. They hit a weak point in the coverage and don't need to worry about 3rd down at all.
New set of downs for him at the 38. It's Henry on the counter. And they've got him behind the line for a big loss.
Well, he was supposed to be the one who chipped away a few and got a new set of downs started right in rhythm. Instead, he's now forced to pick himself from behind the line thanks to a great effort defensively.
Back to the line they go. It's 2nd down. Running once more with Henry. And this one's brought to a halt at about the 36-yard line. It's only a gain of 1. Back-to-back misfires on the ground, and they're facing 3rd and long.
You know, not a ton of yards, but still showing that commitment to the ground game. The type of run that keeps the defense from loading up in coverage and focusing entirely on that passing game.
Jackson now on 3rd. Chased out to his right. Oh, he's gonna run for it! And he slides down with enough to pick up that first. It's a 26-yard pickup there. And that'll be 1st down, Baltimore.
Man, I don't ever want to be a defensive coordinator. They do so many things right to take away the pass, and then what happens? Well, you get a quarterback that lowers his head, gashes the defense with one of the biggest runs of the game. You take away the pass, but you can't stop the QB run.
1st down now, ball at the 39-yard line. Lamar now from the gun. And oh, someone stepped in. It's intercepted. And the Broncos put together a wonderful return. Gets him back inside the 40 following the interception. They worked hard to have the halftime lead, Brock, but now that defense working hard to take it away.
Not wasting any time, are they? You know, they love to say about baseball, Kate, baseball's a game of adjustments. So is the NFL, and especially in the 2nd half. You have all that data from the 1st half. You want to take it all in, and defensively you want to adjust exactly what they did to take the ball away there to begin the 2nd.
First down now, ball at the 39-yard line. Stidham looking to pass.
And the defense was all over that throw, able to stop it right at the line. They could smell that one coming, and they sniffed it out in a hurry.
Second and 10, need to get some positive yardage here. Shotgun snap now to Stidham. He had it for a moment, but a great defensive play to jar it loose, incomplete. It arrived as the ball did to break things up. And that's going to leave him with a tough 3rd and long. So they opt for the shorter pass later in the progression on that play, Brock, but man, the defense took that away too.
Well, what they tell us yesterday in those production meetings, nothing comes easy. No easy completions from shots down the field to those checkdowns to the running back. Wanted to make this offense earn everything. They just did.
Took his shot at 6 that time. And now they're staring at 4th and long.
You know, down here in the red zone where there's a touchdown on the line, you really want to read the quarterback's eyes as a defender. Make sure you know where that throw is going and get in position to swat it away. That is well done.
And this one had a brief chance, but not a good kick in the end. He misses it. And that's going to keep the difference at 14 points.
Well, once you get out beyond 50 yards, everything in the process has got to be perfect. It's a good effort, but it's going to wind up off the mark.
The Ravens and Lamar Jackson are ready to go again on offense. And there's a couple of moments we're seeing here that I think he's not going to want to be reminded of after this game. Turnovers have just interrupted his performance in this one. Made it really tough for him and this team to get into and stay in any kind of rhythm. The Ravens in a very good field position as they come up 1st and 10. The drive begins with Henry, and he won't salvage that. It's a loss on the play.
Put some respect on that corner's name. Corners aren't just on that field to cover. They can hit, and they can create tackles for loss, too.
Everyone's prepped. It's 2nd down now. Lamar off to play fake. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop him. And that pushes them back. 3rd down coming up.
Yeah, let's give some credit to the defense here, Kate, right? We talk about explosive plays. Every offense is looking for them. But when a defense can go back-to-back, Jack, with a tackle for loss and a sack, well, they're more than doing their job.
And the Broncos bringing out some extra DBs on this 3rd down. They're in the dime. From the gun, Jackson. Fits it through the middle. And they're going to bring him down just on the other side of midfield.
Time and again, receivers will tell their quarterbacks, just give me a chance. Just give me a chance. Just throw it up and give me the opportunity. Well, in this case, with even 2 defenders trying to cover that wide receiver, couldn't get it done.
The Ravens going to punt this away, and here's Jordan Stout to handle that boot. And no chance at a return as this one heads across the sideline at the 25-yard line. Denver set to take the field on offense. They could only set up a lengthy field goal attempt their last possession, Brock, so some room to improve in how far they can advance the football here. They'll get this drive started. 1st and 10. From the gun, a carry by Williams. And he finds space for about a 3-yard gain. Stopping that play, Trenton Simpson. Give him a few yards on that run. It's 2nd and 7.
You know, they got some positive yards. That's a good thing. But too many plays like that, it just is too hard to pile together, get 1st downs against the better defenses in this league.
On 2nd down, a run with Williams. And once again, he doesn't manage much before getting brought down. Just 1 yard on the play, though. That leaves him with 3rd down and 6 to go. Here's Stidham to throw. Got Williams, and it's complete. And nothing doing on that run. Defenders bottle it up quickly.
I got to be honest, it hurts a little extra when it comes on 3rd down, but it really doesn't matter what down it is. If a completed pass is stopped at the line of scrimmage, offensively, that's a failure. Defensively, that's a success.
Here comes the Broncos punting unit. And he sends this away. Definitely his best kick of the game thus far. And a fair catch made without incident, just inside the 25. That punt goes unanswered. No return there. And they'll get ready to go on offense. Drive starts out with a 1st and 10. A tight end in motion now. On 1st and 10, it's Jackson. This finds Likely. And this one gets to the 33-yard line before it's stopped. Well, the defense is really buckled down. That was a scoreless 3rd quarter for us. This one not out of reach quite yet, but it is a 2-score game to begin the 4th. After a good pickup, they're set up with 2nd and short. Shotgun snap to Jackson. And he can't reel it in, incomplete. No luck finding his receiver that time. And that leaves him with 3rd and short.
I think if you look up in phase in the defensive encyclopedia, that is a picture-perfect form of it. He was all over him in coverage, really forcing the incompletion.
Slot receiver headed left. A little touch pass here, trying to move the chains. And he'll get them enough for a 1st down.
Okay, you know me, I can't resist. I thought we might have needed the old Gene Steratore index card down there, making a really close measurement to see if he got the 1st down or not. But in the end, well, the right call was made. He got just enough to move the chains.
1st down, ball at the 36. Quick touch pass to the receiver. And this one does not go far. 3 yards on the 1st down play, and that brings up 2nd and 7.
Tried to mix in a little wide receiver carry and catch this defense on its heels. We've seen it work time and again, and it almost got there. Without that tackle, we could have seen a big gainer. But give some credit to the defense where credit is due.
One of the tight ends in motion left. Short side option here. He's running left. Big play. Pushes them beyond midfield. And he takes this into enemy territory to the 48-yard line. Give him 13 on that play. And that's good for a Ravens 1st down.
He easily had the yardage for a 1st, but he was hungry for a lot more. I think that tackle prevented something that was going to be a lot bigger than just a 1st down pickup.
On 1st and 10, it's Henry. He's out in the clear. And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs. It's a 31-yard play, and that'll be 1st down, Baltimore.
I'll tell you what, Kay, one of the things I'm most proud of coming out of broadcast are my O-line buddies that will hit me up during the game and say thank you. Thank you for finally showing some love and giving some light to what those big boys are doing up front. I got to play with some of the best to do it. I got to see it up close and personal. Because of it, I'll never forget it. And they just showed up on that run.
From the red zone now. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop him. And the big play drives them backwards. 2nd down coming up.
Some guys, you just have to account for them, especially middle linebackers. I remember Ray Lewis, Brian Urlacher, it just felt like their presence took up the entire field. And this linebacker today, well, he had the interception earlier, a sack right now. You've got to start figuring out a plan for him, or he will take over this game.
Offense to the line for 2nd down. Trying again, following the sack. Again, he's under pressure, and he goes down. And the back-to-back sacks, nice work by the defense there, sets him up with a 3rd down.
Kate, I don't know if I've ever told you, but my dad was a driver's ed teacher, and I could just hear him right now say, son, take this out of reverse and put it in drive, because this one's going nowhere right now. A drastic change on this play needed, and maybe a whole lot of luck to keep this series alive.
So a really tough spot here. This is 3rd and a country mile. Looking to throw, Jackson. He's got Andrews. And that will not be enough for a first down.
Feet and eyes, Kate. Feet and eyes. They so often tell the story of every position on the field. When that quarterback's feet and eyes move to his secondary read, and so often it's a tight end, well, it's incumbent on that defense to fly to the ball. You want to make that tackle, force the 4th down? It took a great defensive effort to do it.
Tucker's kick is up and good. And that makes this a 3-score game. Now Tucker on to handle the kickoff. On the return, here's Mims. And a decent return ends as they bring him down inside the 30. The Broncos running their offense out once again. And this a final opportunity to make things a little closer in that final score. They're out and set, 1st and 10. Out of the gun, it's Nix. And they get to him way behind the line on this one and take him down. And the big play drives them backwards. 2nd down coming up.
Hey, Kate, I think we know that the quarterback's a demanding position because not only do you have to have a clock in your head, but you've got to have a spatial awareness of where you are on the field. And once you start retreating, going backward and backward and backward, you got to just fling the ball in the stands. Otherwise, you take a huge negative sack like that.
A bit of desperation on this deep shot. Tough one to retain through that hit. And things look tougher now with 3rd and long. You go middle of the field against zone coverage, Brock. You know this firsthand. You are throwing into rush hour, and there aren't a lot of easy completions to be found in that part of the field.
Yeah, and a lot of those throws, Kate, you're signing your guy up to take some sort of hit. It's on you to protect your guys. Credit that defense for flying around and making the play.
Trying to push it deep downfield. And disaster averted. He knocks away the deep ball, incomplete.
Any DB prefers a highlight reel interception to just forcing an incomplete pass. But as soon as he realized a pick wasn't possible on the play, he gets his hands on it and made sure it wasn't completed.
They'll send out the punting unit. And after that drive went backwards, he's going to send this one forward. And the coverage team is there as he fields it, so almost nothing on that return before he stopped. The Ravens ready for their next series, led out on offense by their quarterback. And like we've seen from him before, Brock, he got a good game going early through the air and kept the pressure up from then on. He's still taking it to him now as we work through this 2nd half. First and 10, ball set up at the 48. They'll start this series with an option left. And he'll cross the 50 and start pushing onto the opposing side of the field. Only 2 yards, and it brings up 2nd and 8.
It may not show up as much on the old stat sheet, just a short little QB run, but what that does, Kate, is so important. Keeps that defense honest, and in particular, those defense linemen, those cleats in the ground, they're not just coming after you in the pocket. Now they've got to think about you as a runner as well.
Out of the gun, Henry. And he has it to the 42 before they make the stop. It's a 4-yard pickup, and they need the same now here on 3rd down.
They'll come away happy getting that type of output on most run plays. It's a sign that they're getting some good push up front, and this running back is seeing the lanes and paying them off.
Chance to move the chains here on 3rd and 4. So it ends as a win for the Ravens. And it was a maestro of a performance defensively, limiting them to only one field goal. Playing shutdown football like that, Brock, it is no surprise they came away with the win. And I think you'd agree, we see some more lockdown football in their future. With Brock Ewart and our entire crew, I'm Kate Scott. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Ravens are your winners as we say so long from Baltimore.